Show is truly live today. We've got a class going on. People will be here taking classes all day, but we have something special and some people you don't often meet that I'd like to introduce you to. Mr. Gimbal, here I am. That's so weird. It's got a life of its own today. All right, so we got Sam on the camera. She's following us around. Today is the opening of Bubblegum and Feathers. So in the Glass Academy in 2020, we started Batch Gallery, and the intent was to have fine art shows here. Well, we all know what happened in 2020. So here we are, 2022, March, and we've got it rolling, and I'm super happy. So I wanted to do a one-person show, but there's so much talent here that I was like, okay, we gotta explore and show off this talent. So I invited the women of the Glass Academy, which is anyone who worked here that was female was welcome to join in. And here we have two of our lovely artists that are in the show.
I'm a photographer at the Glass Academy.
I'm Jessica. I'm the graphic designer at the Glass Academy.
Yeah, so they are always behind the scenes, and all those wonderful e-news you get and the photos that we get are responsible for these two women. Why don't you talk about what work you chose to bring, Becky?
I kind of dabble in a lot of things, and so I did these paintings. I also sew. So there's coasters, zipper pouches, and table runners. And these little watercolors are mine also. Okay. And so now Jessica can go.
And I did these paintings, ink and watercolor and little handmade note cards. So you can come in and take a look.
All right, I'll take my mic back.
Okay.
So I super appreciate these women. As artists, you know, many of us are more introverted or quiet or not wanting to be in front of the limelight. Sam's laughing as she hears it. She's like, that's right, don't turn that camera around. But again, I'm going to be, let's see. I'm going to be bold for them. They're beautiful cards. They're all handmade, and you can get them here at the Glass Academy. She's got a basket of them. Friends forever. She has some teenage kids, and I love this. This is like the perfect, how fun is it when your mom does things like this? Dream. It's so supportive, and it's so nice that these women can make items and that their kids see this is how like you do things in the world, right? They all have hobbies and passions, and while Jessica's a great graphic designer for us and she really puts things together, we work as a team, and on her own she also has items that she'd like to talk about. So Becky was real quick. I'm going to go over Becky's stuff. You may have seen in our studio these coasters that we sell to match our products. So Becky knows that when we decorate the gallery, we put fabric on things. So she, true to my heart too, loves to go to resale shops. And she also loves to go to like estate sales. So these are hilarious. They are like vintage 70s fabric that she puts together in these adorable little bags. And like, who doesn't need something like this for their makeup or those computer cords that you're always like, where can I put this so it doesn't go down the rabbit hole of my bag? Also, I'm thinking of like iPod cords. If you put your Bluetooth, whatever those are, in here and threw these in your purse, you'd always be able to find them. And she really goes all out with the fabric. So they're all one of a kind. She did some table runner here's that are two-tone, which if you're being honest and practical, many times you want just a basic fabric. And then other time, if your plates are basic, you can go with more 70s mushroom look. And you know what's really hard about this? I was like, I don't have to go out shopping anymore. I can just come here and get everything that I need. All right, let's see what else. We have some moleskin journals, and don't say anything. I bought one for Lucy and Jake because they were perfectly their theme. So Becky does the owl theme. And so she did these little bowls, which are great, jewelry, anything like that. All right, those are the two women that happen to be here now, but we also have Sam, and she's gonna be quiet while I say this, but check these out. So she did these little resin bunnies. And Jessica commented she wasn't sure how big they were, so let's give it some scale right there. All right, and I'll say, and Sam doesn't know this, but I bought this one, so no one can have that one. Just saying. There's little slugs that have some goodies inside of them. These are resin. It almost looks like it's fabric on it, but if I'm understanding, they're inside, right? They're little things inside. And so for her slugs, I love that she made this whole theme, like with lights and a swing. It's adorable. Okay, we're also going to feature each of the artists in our e-news during the week. So we have Robin here who creates these found items, but kind of puts them together in a story. They might not be all found items. I'd have to read her artist statement, but they're really repurposed. Like here, the watches, you can imagine if you went to an estate sale, you might see some of the watches in a bin for like $1 or something. So Robin talked about, she used this one as the example about how she lays it all out, explores the composition, and then has to take it all apart so she can glue it on to the frame. So there's a lot of time and energy spent in those. She also did some jewelry and these wine holders, and I don't know what the theme, I gotta look up the totem animal of an owl, but it keeps appearing here in many of the things that you'll see at the show. So Robin does shipping and packing, and this is what she does as a hobby. And no, I asked her about the wine corks. She said people give them to her. These are not all wines that she's drank, which allows her some freedom to find these different wine corks and really do something cool with them. Then we have Becky's acrylics, the oil paintings. Acrylic or oil, I can't remember. I think they're acrylic. And then she also does these fashionable bags. Like, she cracks me up for Halloween. She made her kids' bags, and they had like glow lights in them and stuff. I thought they were really cool. So she's got these great bags, and we know we all need that little shopping bag when we go, whoops, sorry, microphone. When we go, hello, to the store. You want a little bag. And now you can show that you're fashionable. You're not just, you know, bulk bag or anything. So there's those. All right, moving along, we have Jessica's cards, which you all saw. Then we have Christina. Now, some of you might remember Christina. She worked for us back in like 2019 when Corona hit. We invited her back as we slowly started to open up. And she did a lot of the displays in the gallery and worked the registers. You know, we weren't open full time at all. And it's actually a futon. So these are fabrics that she's printed on. She's taken this rope and creatively turned them into a cushion that can also fold out if you were having overnight guests. So Christina's at Cranbrook right now, and that's pretty phenomenal in itself. Cranbrook has this great like pulling together of people. So you'll see her work, and she'll be here. You can talk to her about it. My work. Well, this is where I don't even want to talk about my own work because I just roll like that. But here, Bubblegum and Feathers, we're going to go over those two pieces. So when I was a kid, my parents really didn't buy us candy, but do you remember Bazooka bubblegum, how you would get it, or Hubba Bubba was the other one. You'd get it in your Halloween bag, right? And it smelled super good, and you'd chew it, and you'd chew the sugar out of it, and then it was like hard as a rock, so you just go grab another piece. I cannot imagine the sugar high I had after Halloween. But this was an exploration on chewing gum with a glass technique that I was looking at. And the funny thing was, I was looking, there's an artist statement and it's going to make way more sense, but I was looking at the pink. We have a pink in glass colors that's called bubblegum pink. And so I was exploring what gum looked like when it was all chewed up. So the other color here, I thought was not successful. I was like, that's not the color that I'm looking for. I don't know what that is. But when you come to the show, we invite you to open up a piece of Bazooka bubblegum and help yourself The smell is crazy. I mean, Sam's nodding, even the smell. The funny thing is when you chew this up, it amazingly is this color. So,
You can smell the art.
you can smell the art. I love that. Another part for me that was really important about this type of gum was the comic strips you'll get in here. And you can read about why I put those in here, but I chose this gum specifically for that reason. It has a lot to do with comics, etc. So there are a couple other interactive pieces in the show. But this is one of the main features for me. The show is called Bubblegum and Feathers. These feathers are made to fit into the wood block. So when you come here, certainly don't pick it up by the wood and not think they're attached or think they are attached. These feathers were really, I can't believe how long it took me to make them, but once I started making them, I'm like super thrilled with them and where they're going. So this is not the first batch. I've done many versions of this. This is the closest to what I want. I'm really looking for like color patterns that are coming across in the feathers, the movement of the feathers, and it kind of matches some spiritual work that I'm doing at the moment. So this is kind of an important piece to me, and how it came about is super important. We have prototypes of other items that I tried, but this is the final result. During this show, some pieces you can cash and carry with you. This particular piece, I'm going to continue to make feathers the whole show. So the wood is all from specific areas that I've traveled or chosen. So I have 3 times as much wood. This is going to be a piece of work that's in progress and constantly moving and rotating. So if you can't make it to the opening today, which is March 20th, we're open from 11 to 4 today, you can come, and the show runs until April 17th. So go to glassacademy.com to figure out our hours. This is Batch Gallery in Dearborn, Michigan. The show is called Bubblegum and Feathers, and we look forward to seeing you here. So the weird part is, to turn this off, we have to walk back to the computer, because today it's just, Sam and I and Allison setting up the food, and we don't open for another hour or so. Jessica's out of here. And off she goes. We have a private class that's working here. Someone's having a birthday, so that's kind of fun. They're finishing up their birthday gift, which makes an amazing gift if you need it. And then I'll take this from Sam so she can shut off. And I'll leave you with, you gotta have it hot. Thanks for watching.